Hi, my name's Sterling Carl Tucker. I'm the godly, glorious, gorgeous, genius guru, maker of God's Creative Kingdom. And this is our Lord and Savior, Jesus saved Christ. And I just wanted to make our Sabbath Salvation Sermon. So confused with Sunday Salvation Sermon. You get in a habit, and the brain always wants to use the previous sentence. But anyway, because it's such an important part of life, and it doesn't matter if people consider the Sabbath Saturday or Sunday, that is totally irrelevant. The purpose of it, as I've mentioned before, but it was designed to have a day to be with your family and to be grateful, to worship God, so to say, by being grateful and praying for and appreciating and taking care of our blessings, which for me are nothing. Just kidding. I love my kids. They're my blessings. But I haven't seen my kids since before Christmas. Weeks before Christmas. I'm supposed to. There's a court order that I'm supposed to be allowed to see them weekly. Nothing I can do about it anyway. And so I just. That's why I'm saying it's difficult to be optimistic when malnourished. It's one thing to ask someone to squeeze water from rocks, but then after they do that, they want it to turn into a unicorn. That's the equivalent of what I and every American has done as a malnourished individual, persevering through life's bullshit. Say, if you have any intelligence, if there's anything upstairs that's functioning correctly, if somebody does something bad to you or treats you bad, you are going to feel bad. Temporarily, at least. And you will continue to feel bad as long as you stay focused on that. And that's why it's so important that there is an exogenous method, which means from the outside world, people can't fix themselves from within. That's bullshit psychiatrist stuff that just want people coming back forever. Anyway, my point is that people's mindset and being Christ-like, forgiving, letting go of negative things, such an important part of life. So I just want to talk about creative for a few seconds. I should have done that right at the beginning, sorry. But they're equally important. What point is life if we're going to die painfully and horribly? And if we live like all of history, well, they all killed each other and bombed each other and did die in war. The majority of lands throughout history, that has been their story long term. And we're about the longest standing group there is, almost. No, actually, the longest standing currency is my name, sterling, and specifically the pound, which is ironic that was way before the United States started weighing people and calling it pounds. Anyway, I thought that was really interesting. But I want to touch on kratom. So, I'm helping my sister this weekend because, like so many Americans, there's a problem with alcohol. She was a problem with alcohol, and people just need to understand there's a trillion ways to feel good. Okay, there's a trillion ways to molecularly induce it or to environmentally induce a good feeling, and alcohol is not a smart one. It is the dumbest one. It is the only one that will make an individual less capable than a 5-year-old in that they can't drive a car without splattering themselves on the road. Which is why I'm really excited for collision prevention systems, which has nothing to do with God's garden, but it's all connected. And the fact that, anyway, go to egod.tech, and please circulate that information. Post it on Facebook. If it is commonly talked about, and over 50% of our country asks our legal representatives to please make laws that make it so car manufacturers aren't allowed to save on their expenditures and splatter moms on the road, not putting sensors and preventative measures into these vehicles. And then also converting the current vehicles. So that's the point of CPS. Because I talked yesterday to Alexander's group on Tesla talk, and Alexander talks to Omar and Sawyer, and they seem like the most knowledgeable people I've ever heard of in regards to Tesla. Like, they know the ins and the outs of the software, the hardware, the everything, which was really fun to listen to them. Anyway, I got talking to them about it, and anyway, I got talking to them about it, and they were like, well, what's the point? Like, what's the difference in between, FSD and this product? Why do I need this product? And the answer is, FSD is designed for Teslas. CPS is not designed for Tesla at all. Tesla doesn't need it. It already has it built in. It's using the intelligence of Elon to make everybody as safe as Elon has made Tesla drivers, which is 10 times safer than an everyday human if they're paying attention. I mean, obviously, if you're not paying attention when you drive, you're going to get in a car accident. But anyway, having FSD engaged and paying attention makes people 10 times less likely to get in a lethal car accident. 1.35 million humans per year splatter on the roads or killed. Could you imagine that? Like, being married or any type of life situation where you have someone really close, and then, boom, on their way home from work, after you treated them like shit that day, that morning, they're dead. It happens to over a million people a year, strictly because people don't circulate information about egod.tech. So please do that. Now move on to Kratom's pharmacology. Pharmacology is the way that a molecule interacts with the human brain, body, and central nervous system. Also, none of this is medical advice or anything like that. It's just information from peer-reviewed scholarly articles published in medical journals and accessed through the United States National Institutes of Health and Journal of Medicine. So it is the cutting edge of science, but it's not medical advice. So anyway, kratom has two primary analgesic, which means pain-blocking alkaloids in it. One is mitragynine, the other is 7-hydroxymitragynine. Mitragynine metabolizes into 7-hydroxymitragynine amongst 6 other metabolites. And the plant will also produce 7-hydroxymitragynine by itself. Now, those two analgesic pain-blocking substances using what is called the PD2 scale, which is it's conducting what is called a hot plate tail flick test. And they get a nerve, and they turn the heat up on it, and they see how much heat it can withstand before it twitches. And that's how we measure the strength of an analgesic, which means pain blocking an analgesic substance. So using the PD2 scale as a reference point or as a guide or as a method of measurement, oh my gosh, using the PD2 scale. I just totally fucking forgot. That bothers me so bad that I do that. That's really concerning. And you know what that's from? That's from fucking malnourishment. Okay, I'm supposed to be eating plants. I'm supposed to have cocoa leaves. I'm not a fucking retard like other people that are like, oh, I'm not going to depend on nutrition. I don't want to have some plants that I need daily. Whether you want to or not, retard, your brain requires it. Cannabis, specifically, the human body requires it. It will die and dysfunction without it. It is a proven fact. If you do not have a balanced ratio of 1:1 to omega-3, 6, and 9, your body, it is physically impossible to perform at an optimal level, aka you're going down a path to disease and painful and slow death, like so many Americans. Like, look at the health of our country. It makes me so sad to go into Walmart because I feel it's so unfair. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Because like, I'm perfectly fit. I've got abs, always, without doing anything. And I think that's so fucking unfair. But anyway, it could also be because of what I'm saying and the fact that if you consume molecules that enhance human performance, emotion, intelligence, psychomotor speed, all of those things, then you simultaneously improve and enhance every part of your life, because your life is created by your ability to do those things, to move, to how quickly you move, how accurately you move, how intelligently you work, if you make a mistake or something like that. Anyway, all those things require exogenous molecules such as omega-3, 6, and 9, which are EFAs, which stands for essential fatty acids. There's 21 BCAAs, which is branched chain amino acids, that are 100% required for our body. Our body cannot produce them. It's physically impossible. And it is the same with omega-3, 6, and 9. People know this. Like, there's a lot of lab studies saying, "No, fish is so heart healthy." Wrong. And it is better than getting nothing. But anyway, it's still an imbalanced amount. Fish is completely omega-3. You're supposed to have 1 part of omega-3 per 2 parts, or per 3 parts of omega-6. And then ideally omega-9 in there too. But that, as far as I'm aware, that only occurs in cannabis. Yeah. So let's see what else I should talk about. So so there was mitragynine potency of the analgesic. On a PD2 scale, mitragynine is 50% the strength of morphine, and 7-hydroxymitragynine is 17 times stronger than morphine at blocking pain signals without causing respiratory depression to a significant level, aka it solves the opioid overdose epidemic. It will. It absolutely will. And the People Say for Substance Source makes it so this delusion puppin show no longer has to play retard in the fact that, like, nobody needs to hide anything. Like, this is the land of liberty. People can have whatever they want, but and that's the backbone to a national and also thereby international economy. And I love what Donald Trump said when he was 34 years old. He's like, "I wouldn't want to get into politics. I see it as a really mean thing," and that's so freaking goddamn true. It is, because people are just given half a story and told a bunch of bad stuff that's not true. Anyway. He said, but the reason that I think it's important is because then we can set the example for other people to follow. And I was like, wow, that's when I converted over to Donald Trump. I mean, because, like, I'm blindly loyal to Elon Musk. Like, I'll do anything he does, but not like with that. I've never voted in my life because I'm like, I'm not going to choose between two people I disagree with. I completely disagree with this unconstitutional assault on us, which will be completely prevented or completely fixed with the People Say for Substance Source, and generate $4.92 trillion annually in new government revenue based on the 2017 income tax alone. Just on that. And there's way more resources beyond payroll income tax. And so, yeah, huge for our future, huge for everybody's life. So please spread information about it. In life, we control what happens. You control what happens. If you circulate good information about good things, that will become the future. If you don't, it won't. So please let us know if you have any questions or need anything. We're always here to serve you the best, make your life the best with the world.